like taking about 6 pictures.
Okay. You don't need to keep. Okay. Biceps.
What's going on, guys? So here we are, the day before the race. That's right, it is Friday before our Ultra Beast. We had to pick up our packets and our bibs and our whatnot craziness.
Where are you?
And we got to see some really cool stuff back there, which is part of the obstacles. You see that guy right there? That's Alan. That's a good friend of ours. He's always at the races that we go to. Got to give him a lot of special love out there. He is a great guy. As for right now, we're gonna head on to the hotel room. Got to get some rest and some food in us. Gonna sign off, and we'll see you tomorrow, first thing in the morning. As for right now, let's go. Welcome to the New Jersey Ultra Beast video. So guys, right now, I'm taking a nap, I'm going to sleep, it's nighttime, and I have a lot on my mind. First and foremost, I'm about to run a 30-mile race in the mountains. I'm from Florida, guys, Miami to be exact. We don't have mountains. Alright guys, so right now, I'm sleeping, getting ready for the race. Tomorrow is a big day. At least that's what I have in my thought process right now. And it's been pretty crazy up until this point. Training's been off, eating's been off, but this week has been preparation time. So far, I've gotten the bucket ready. We had a decent dinner tonight, and I'm getting a good night's rest. So in just a few moments, I gotta wake up and run this race and get dressed and be at the starting line. So what should you know about it? We're waking up to 38 to 40 degree weather, and it's going to be rainy and overcast. Based on what I just saw over at base camp and picking up my packet, it's already soggy and muddy. Tomorrow is going to be miserable. Oh crap, wait a minute. It's time to wake up and get to the race. I'll see you guys later.
Waiting for that one.
I was like, alright, I just need to do this race, that's it. It's like, I don't need to do anything, I just need to run it. One and done.
Alright, folks, we're gonna get you guys out of here. Guys, what is your profession?
A lot of these races start the same. It's kind of boring, but you get to meet some pretty interesting people at the start line. I noticed we had a bunch of people from all around the world with this race. It was rather interesting. It's quite fun to see people from not only the United States, but Canada, the Caribbean, some European countries. It's a very culturally diverse race. So here we are, first obstacle, very interesting. It was jumping over a bale of hay, not that special. But as we were walking up the mountain, I noticed one thing. There was snow still melting off. I couldn't believe it, but it was actually happening. I was in the middle of April, going up a mountain. It was overcast, it was muddy, it was rainy, it was cold. And here, I see snow. Snow! I'm tired of this. This was just a rough race. So typical Spartan obstacle here. Just gotta jump over a wall, land properly, and not hurt yourself. Ow! Oh. Forgot about my broken toe.
No, mine was all sorts of colors.
There's more snow. The snow is still here? What's up with that?
It's already.
I mean, seriously, it's April. It's raining. It's not snow on the floor. Oh. More walls, huh? These walls get annoying, but they're quite typical in the races, so. That was a cool little transition, little click, complete accident. Figured I'd keep it in the film. But you can see some of the terrain here. It's quite complicated, quite technical. Not only do you have steep inclines, but you have a lot of loose rocks and loose mud, or loose dirt that you slip out. It can be very tricky to navigate through these things. As you can see, pretty crowded, but as the race goes on, it gets pretty desolate and it's easy to get lost. I mean, look at these woods.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. It's like you see the Blair Witch Project or something going on.
When that bass drops, wild out, it's a free-for-all.
Oh man, this thing, Stairway to Sparta. So first, you gotta kind of go up a wall. Then, you gotta climb up these wood planks. And if you know me, I hate heights. So guess what? This particular obstacle, not a fun one for me. But it's kind of cool when you get over it and you kind of say, hey, I faced my fears.
I always call it, you never know. Have fun, guys.
Always encourage your runners and your teammates. So here we are approaching the Atlas Stone Carry. The way the Atlas Stone Carry is, you pick up a stone made of cement, if you don't know what an Atlas Stone is. It's a solid piece of cement. That's right, you pick it up. I think for the guys it weighs about 80 pounds, for the women it weighs about 60. I could be wrong, but that's a guesstimate.
Drop it. Thank you, sir.
Alright, you pick it up from the floor. You go about, I don't know, 20, 30 yards at most.
Drop it, watch your toes.
You drop it, you do 5 burpees. That doesn't include all the other burpees you've already done. Then you do 5 burpees. And then you pick up the ball, and then you got to take it back. Some people like to hand it off. Not me. I mean, that's a recipe for squishing your toes, if you ask me.
Watch your toes.
Watch me pop it like a pro.
This water here definitely was an interesting obstacle because if you look, it was actually wide enough for 2 lanes, but the second lane was really deep. My friend John decided to go on the deeper end. He's a lot shorter than me, and we all agreed that was a bad idea, but in retrospect, it was probably a better idea. Looking back at this one, I'm almost certain I would have much rather taken his route than the route that I took, which is not as deep, a little more shallow, but took too long and kept me in the water for too long, and I was already cold. I had been struggling with this cold weather from the very beginning of the race. Like I said earlier, I wasn't prepared really nutritionally for this race during the week. I didn't incorporate a lot of fat into my diet, and because of that, I didn't have many calories for my body to burn to keep me warm. So things like this particular obstacle made the rest of the race extremely uncomfortable for me. I started really cold, I got out of this water, and I was freezing. I mean, absolutely freezing. I could not regulate my temperature. So, little tip here, guys, take advantage of calories. Fat is actually good. In situations like this, you need to put this fat in your body to keep yourself warm. Alright, here's my personal favorite obstacle. It's Tyra. Tyra is very simple. You jump on a rope and you traverse with your back to the floor, your legs and your arms on the rope, and you traverse over to a bell and drop. One of my personal favorites. I actually excel at it and find it a lot of fun. So walking up to this particular obstacle, you kind of get scared of it. It's a monkey bar system that kind of bends towards you and you have to climb up and over it.
Watch me pop it like a pro.
It is muddy, it is slippery, and if you don't grab these poles right, you definitely can slip off. Quite painful if you fall. That's what these pads are there for. But even when you land on these pads, it hurts, guys. So coming up and down this one's kind of tricky, but it's a fun one.
They wouldn't catch here. We're not worried if
Like
they
that, huh?
fall back from right here.
Alright, so here's my personal favorite obstacle, and I mean that with all sarcasm. I mean all sarcasm. The barbed wire crawl. I hate it. It's long, it's boring, and if you get caught on that barbed wire, it's painful. I usually cramp up here in my groin, so some pointers here, some tips. Well, take a break. That's what I do. never-ending barbed wire crawl. It's horrific.
Up on the right flagpole. Got a left flagpole up here.
Now, you are dodging people. You are dodging people's feet. You're dodging people's arms. You're looking around, making sure you're not getting in their way. Here, you know, I helped this one girl out. She got hooked, and then right after, I got hooked. So yeah, this is real barbed wire, guys. You can get hooked, you can get cut, you can get hurt. But we do like to help in these races, especially if you get caught up. I mean, you look around, there's always people needing help. So yeah, it's a fun sport, it's a competitive sport, but we help each other out regardless. Alright, so here we are. Here I am walking up to yet another one of my favorite obstacles. I have yet to actually master this obstacle. I've gotten about halfway. If you don't know it, it's Twister. And what is Twister? It's a bar with handles on it that spin in the direction that you grab it. I think it spins counterclockwise, as you can see on screen, and you just have to monkey bar across. It's quite a challenge, kills your grip, it's painful.
I don't want to kick
So here I go up, I go across, and I drop. And there I go, boom, walking off. I almost got kicked in the face. So yeah, it's definitely a tough obstacle. My buddy, one of my teammates tried it and he failed it as well. And it was quite a task. I mean, it's definitely not an easy obstacle. I've tried it in multiple places, and each different race I've had something wrong with my hands. This one was probably the only time that my hands were okay. I just was not prepared for this race. What happens now in certain races is you get a penalty loop versus a burpee challenge, a burpee penalty. Burpee penalty is 30 burpees if you fail an obstacle. Spartan's been experimenting with the penalty loop, and here we are in the penalty loop. I don't know if you noticed, guys, but we're holding on to this white tape. It's a plastic tape. It's like caution tape, as if it's going to do something if we slip and fall. Yeah, right. It's just going to snap and laugh at us. So John accomplished the obstacle of Twister, and we were, exhausted from the loop, but really happy for him. I mean, it's exciting to see somebody master that particular obstacle. It's not an easy one.
Where'd he go? Oh, there you are. I'm not warming up, dude, at all. Huh?
Bye.